The last 100 years has seen war like never before all over the world. The First World War, they said, was going to be the war to end all wars. And they've been trying, and then Hitler came and he had his idea that he was going to end all wars and create his 1,000-year reign. And then there was a conflict between the Soviet Union and the Western powers, and you know the goal was always for peace, because with the nuclear weapons there was mutually assured destruction. So the way the Soviet Union went down was not because of any directly because the United States won that Cold War, so to speak. It was because of Gorbachev's new economic policies and political policies, which just blew away all the fear, the grip of fear that the Soviet Union had over its people, and it just collapsed like that. And it was from within. It was from their own idea. They're getting smarter. It was like getting smarter. Russia realized that all of this trying to force a government on people, which is what all wars really are. We're going to force our government on you, and our government's going to rule the world. All the governments want to be the king of the world, and they don't realize that as long as they're evil and wicked, they can't succeed. Because there's always going to be people that don't like that and that are going to rise up against that, or think that why should they rule? I'm wicked too. I have just, then it's the wicked, they have no morals, so they compete with themselves. So there's no end to their wars. That's why Jesus says a kingdom that is divided against itself cannot stand. And so Satan divided against Satan, his kingdom will be brought to an end. And that's why Jesus, all those that take the sword shall be killed by the sword. That's why he's the Prince of Peace. The only way to peace is not through war, but the only way to peace is through morality, Christianity. Jesus realized that the way to peace is to love one another, to love your neighbor as yourself. That's the only way for world peace, is for true love, not for lust for power. And Jesus had the answer. All these 2,000 years since the time of Christ have all been vanity, because men have not listened to Jesus Christ. Before Jesus Christ, there was never that idea of loving your enemies, of not wanting to retaliate and take vengeance against your enemy. And they think they're right, and they think they're right, and who's to judge? You know, people could make their own judgments, but that wouldn't solve the problem, because the evil pretend to be good people. You know. So yeah, before that. There was wars, even the nation of Israel, they fought against the pagan nations around them and destroyed them, annihilated them. Kids, everything, just wiped them all out because God told them to. It was like when God rained fire and sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah. But he had the Jews go into the land of Canaan. The Canaanites were excessively wicked people. So the Jews were to wipe them out. They were God's arm, so to speak. It wasn't because the Jews had their own idea for conquering the world. They were taken by the hand by Jehovah God himself and brought out of Egypt. And they were to become a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. But they rebelled against him. They wanted to be like the other nations. So they got caught up in the stupidity and the self-destruction of every nation in this world. And Jesus Christ came to set the record straight. Okay, no more wars. You know, it's to love thy neighbor as thyself. Don't take up your sword. Jesus Christ didn't take up the sword against those who wanted to kill him. He was zealous for his Father's house and threw him out of the temple. That was for the name of God. So it's going to go on. The wars of the stupidity of men that actually think they can win something. It's just stupidity, isn't it? Most people know, most honest people, good-hearted people know that it's, why are we still fighting wars? Haven't we learned yet? There's no peace in war. There's no love in war. Love means loving other people as yourself. Treating them. It's no good to live alone. Why don't you love people? People we're people. We need other people. There's no reason why we shouldn't love all people. But not everybody sees like that. So there's wicked in the world. A lot of wicked that don't love their neighbor. And they talk about the Third World War. And why do they call those countries the Third World countries? Well, that's where all the wars going on. It's like a Third World War. So, because Russia and the United States, they had nuclear weapons. They didn't want to destroy each other, destroy the whole world. So they started, slicing the little countries up. Vietnam, Korea, Vietnam, and then South America, Guatemala, and all those countries, all the operations that were going on, all the secret CIA wars, and all the communists' infiltration into those countries. And the United States, that was supposed to be Christian, has not come out morally superior in any extent. You look at what happened in the torture camps, and the disgusting ugliness, unbelievable depravity that they treated other human beings. This was nothing Christian. War is not Christian, never has been. Since the time of Christ came to this earth, these Christians that say they're Christian and they're going to fight in wars, they're not Christian. None of them. Because that's not what Christianity is about. Christianity is about teaching peace, and so they're destined to But the thing is, there's a group of people that is going to become wise, that is going to understand Jesus Christ, and is going to come together in Jesus Christ in His teachings of love and morality. It's important. If you love your neighbor as yourself, you're going to have to be a moral person. You don't commit adultery with your neighbor's wife. That's not love. But to be honest, and to be good, and to be faithful and true. These are the things that are going to keep you alive, save humanity for those that follow Christ. Now, those that don't, they'll destroy themselves. But that's the only war to end all wars, is the war of Armageddon, as the Bible puts it, where the kingdoms of this world decide that they want to fight against Jesus Christ or against the true Christians. And God says, he that touches you touches the apple of my eye. And God has been quiet for a long time, but He is going to act at that time. And the earth will tremble.